tonight's top story, which comes from the Lok Sabha Ethics Committee, which took a major decision today recommending the expulsion of Trinamool Congress's high-profile Member of Parliament Mahua Moitra in the alleged cash for query case. Mahua Moitra has rejected the findings, claiming that this was a fixed match because she claims she's taken on industrialist Gautam Adani and Prime Minister Modi. The next step now will be decided by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, who will look at that 500-page report. Our top story is on the high drama that took place in the ethics panel that looked into the Mahua Moitra case.
TMC leader Mahua Moitra is staring at an abrupt end to her innings as a Member of Parliament. The Lok Sabha Ethics Committee on Thursday adopted a report that recommends the expulsion of the firebrand parliamentarian over the cash for query scandal. 6 members, including Committee Chief Vinod Sonkar, voted in favour of adopting the report. Interestingly, Congress MP Preneet Kaur differed with her party and voted with the BJP members. 4 opposition MPs voted against.
जब पूरी विस्तृत रिपोर्ट पार्लियामेंट में लेकर दी जाएगी, उसमें आप पढ़ेंगे तो आपको लगेगा कि एथिक्स कमेटी ने पूरी जिम्मेदारी के साथ पूरी जांच परख के बाद अपनी रिपोर्ट संसूची के साथ प्रेजेंट की।
हम नाइंसाफी के खिलाफ अपनी आवाज बुलंद की है और करते रहेंगे। नाइंसाफी बर्दाश्त न पहले थी न अब है।
The Ethics Committee report has recommended immediate expulsion of Mahua Moitra. It says the MP visited Dubai 4 times between January 1, 2019 and September 30th, 2023. But her Lok Sabha login credentials were used from there 47 times. According to sources, the committee cited Home Ministry's report that pointed to the possibility of sensitive material like draft bills getting leaked. Sources say Moitra allegedly demanded favours from industrialist Darshan Hiranandani, including cash, luxury items, renovations to her bungalow, travel expenses and holidays for posting questions in Parliament. The report says while Hiranandani is an Indian national, he has residency rights in the UAE and has close relatives who are foreign nationals. This, according to the panel, creates a serious risk of sensitive material getting leaked to foreign agencies. The report called Moitra's actions unethical, a breach of parliamentary privilege and a contempt of the House. Mahua Moitra rubbished the findings of the Ethics Committee and claimed she was being targeted.
इस तरीके के एरोगेंसी को भारत की जनता बार बार सबक सिखा रही है, आगे आने वाले समय में भी सबक सिखाएगी। इस स्टेटमेंट के ऊपर मैं सिर्फ इतना ही कहूंगा कि सबसे सटीक अगर कोई वाक्य इस पर बैठता है वो है चोरी, उसके ऊपर सीना जोड़ी।
The TMC leadership has backed Mahua Moitra.
मुझे लगता है कि Mahua Moitra is competent enough to fight a battle on her own. मुझे भी 4 साल से ये बुला रहा है, पूछताछ कर रहा है, अलग अलग केसेस में अटैक कर रहा है। एक में कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है तो दूसरे में अटैक कर रहा है, दूसरे में कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है तो तीसरे में अटैक कर रहा है। वो इनका स्टैंडर्ड प्रैक्टिस है।
The Lok Sabha Speaker will now decide on the committee's recommendation to expel Mahua Moitra. Any adverse action could impact Mahua Moitra's political career. The TMC leader, however, insists she will keep raising questions on the Narendra Modi government's alleged links to the Adani Group. With Piyush Mishra in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me now is our newsmaker tonight, Trinamool Congress MP Mahua Moitra. Appreciate your joining us, Mahua Moitra. The Ethics Panel of Parliament has recommended your expulsion from the Lok Sabha, claiming that you have breached national security and wanting an investigation into alleged cash for favors or cash for questions. Your first reaction to that order of or recommendation of expulsion?
Rajdeep, I think for me it's a badge of honor, because I think I am going to go down in history as the first person who was unethically expelled by the Ethics Committee, whose mandate did not even extend to an expulsion. I mean, the best they can do is actually a suspension. It is only the Privileges Committee that can recommend an expulsion. So even that, these people in their haste didn't get right. But be that as it may, this was a fixed match from the beginning. And today, as I think you've tweeted about it as well, that the draft report was not circulated. Last night at night, it was given to NDTV, which is the Adani-owned channel. Please don't beep this out. And it was handed out to certain members of the BJP press, and a hard copy was sent to members. That's how scared they were. Then this morning, today when they went into the meeting, the agenda said discussion, consideration and adoption of the report on the agenda. And when the members walked in and they said, you know, we're going to discuss this, the chairperson said, no, we're only going to put it to a vote, and he put up his own hand. So it was over in 2 minutes. So I think that I am actually going to wear this like a badge of honor, that's how that's how desperate these people were to shut me up. So I think, you know, this is a foregone, this was the foregone conclusion. And, but the important thing to remember is that they're doing this as a media circus for the next 3 weeks, Rajdeep. They say, oh, she's expelled, she's expelled. They don't have the power to actually expel me. It's a recommendation which they will give to the Speaker. The Speaker obviously will forward it to the House on the first day of the winter session. So the day I can actually be expelled is on the first day of the winter session. So let that happen and we'll take it from there.
You've called it a badge of honor, but I want to come to specifics. It's a 500-page report. There are two primary charges that have been made which has led to this recommendation for expulsion. Number one, unethical conduct and contempt of the House by Mahua Moitra for sharing her Lok Sabha login credentials to unauthorized persons and its impact on national security. Your login password being shared to Darshan Hiranandani's office, a Dubai-based businessman, is being seen as a violation of national security, according to the committee report.
I think you should read the verbatim. I'm going to actually make that public, given that the BJP has thrown Rule 275-2 to the winds and given everything to their own channels. I think I'm actually going to put the verbatim report of what's happened in the committee forward. Uttam Reddy, the Congress MP from Telangana, put it very mildly. He said it's just absurd. If it's a national security issue, that the sharing of a Lok Sabha portal, what is unauthorized persons? There were never any NIC rules given as to who is authorized and who is unauthorized. Till today, there is no rule. For the past 3 weeks since this investigation, this kangaroo court has been going on, the NIC still has not put out any rules, and each MP's office still shares this login portal. It's not an email password, it's a login portal password with upwards of 10 people or more. At any given point in time, 3,000 people or more have the login password. So the unauthorization, there is no unauthorized, number one. Number two, if national security depended on the portal by which questions and travel reimbursements could be done, then I really think the NIC should have done a better job of protecting it. And for the last 3 weeks, should have put out national level advisories saying that this is a breach of national security. It will call for action under the NIA. Every MP has to please come sign an affidavit saying they are the only ones using their password. I haven't seen them do any of that.
No, but even while you say, ma'am, just a minute, ma'am, even while you, just a minute, ma'am, even while you say there are no rules specifically mentioning how do you use what a parliamentarian can or cannot do with his or her login password, the fact is, as per the report, and you haven't denied it, your Lok Sabha login was used from Dubai 47 times. They've used that information, which is in the public domain, which is not denied.
What do you mean I haven't denied it? I haven't. Where is the question of denying it? I have said it myself on your show before the report even made public. I said that I had requested my friend's office to type in my questions. The OTP came to me.
You don't see that as impropriety of any kind?
I have given 61 questions. Obviously, How is that any person can use any help for parliamentary assistance anywhere? Every parliamentarian is covered as long as they receive no pecuniary benefit. You can ask any question that is in public interest. All of my 61 questions, especially the ones on Mr. Adani, are in public interest. My question on how he illegally got Thamra without a tender is in public interest. My question about how his shady company, which is owned by FPIs from abroad, that SEBI doesn't know about and is buying up airports and ports in India, is in public interest. My 9 questions on Adani are in public interest, and all my questions are in public interest. I am free to use typist assistance from anywhere, and if the NIC is such a secret portal, please block foreign IP addresses from entering.
Yeah, but I spoke to certain members of the ethics panel who told me that if Mahua Moitra wanted, ma'am, would you in hindsight have been better off giving your login password to a researcher or someone in your own office rather than someone in Darshan Hiranandani's office? Was that a, do you accept that?
Not at all. Everyone, not at all. He's my friend. Not at all. He's my friend. If there are no rules, I'm perfectly okay if my friend has a large office with a lot of typists. I can ask him to, can you just have someone type it in? Please understand, the OTP came to me. It was just using secretarial help. And he's my old friend. There's nothing wrong with it.
So
now you want to put a gun to somebody's head and ask him to come on Times Now and say it's an error of judgment, that's your business. I'm certainly not going to go back and do whatever. There are people use their children, their children's friends, and what about lamps?
Okay,
it's
so
a
you're
private
saying
agency.
So you're saying there's no error of...
Can the Lok Sabha Secretariat tell me...
You're saying there's no error of judgment?
No.
In the...
My only error... There's no, not at all. And the most important thing is, A, there's no national security. It's laughable. We have reduced parliamentary democracy in India to a farce. We have reduced it to a farce. When a Minister of Home Affairs is giving clearance to Adani to buy airports and ports in this country, when you don't know who owns his stock, and Chinese nationals and UAE nationals own his stock, and you're giving MHA clearance, and you're coming and saying that somebody should be expelled for because it's such a national security issue. We have reduced parliamentary democracy under the BJP to a farce. I am glad they're doing this because people can see what monkeys they are.
Okay.
I'm glad they're doing this. The more of this they'll do, the people who voted for them also will realize they made a mistake.
Okay, let's come to the second part, which is unethical conduct and contempt of house by Srimati Mahua Moitra by way of accepting money, cash and kind, amenities and various other facilities from Sri Darshan Hiranandani, business tycoon based in Dubai. The money trail of this cash for transaction is part of a quid pro quo. As part of a quid pro quo, should be investigated by the government of India in a legal, institutional and time-bound manner. That's the second recommendation as well as the reason they claim for your expulsion.
Right. Now, do you see how stupid that is? In this 500-page report, there is not one shred of evidence. It's the first time I think an ethics committee has perjured itself when they have talked about money, because in this entire 500 pages, there's no mention of money or cash because there isn't any. So they haven't found any proof of cash. They have not even found proof of kind, because Darshan in that first affidavit was exceedingly vague and said broad things. They've got no proof of anything. The only thing they have is me by my own admission, who pointed out the 4 things that I've took from them, which is namely one scarf, some makeup, a car and driver in Bombay and Dubai, and architectural drawings from my house and secretarial assistance. The only thing they have is what I voluntarily gave. Apart from that, there is no shred of evidence. So they are saying in the 500 pages, there is no evidence. The complainant could provide no evidence. Mr. Hiranandani was not even asked to depose before the committee. No cross-examination, no trail, not even one receipt of whatever.
They're saying that will be part of a subsequent investigation. They're saying that will be part of a subsequent investigation.
One second. How can you? One second. But Rajdeep, this is the most ridiculous thing. There's no logic in this. They're saying I'm expelling you because you've done this, but we don't have the evidence. We will now go and ask the government to find the evidence. What does that mean? The last time this was done was cash for votes, when people saw people taking money. It was caught on video. Was anything caught on video now?
Cash for
so
questions.
If there is nothing caught on video, and you are only suggesting on the basis of a fake complaint that there is a money trail and cash and gifts, then you have to have some evidence to expel me. You are first expelling me and then saying I'm going to put the government agency after you, who will harass you in the hope of finding one thing. Do you see the logic in this? On the national security, there's no logic. It's illogical and patently absurd. On the second point, they haven't found anything in the 500 pages. There is not one line of 1 rupee or even one gift or one invoice.
So you are open for a full investigation? You are open to a full investigation of your monies, of the stays that you've had in Dubai as per this report, Mahua Moitra visited Dubai 4 times between Jan 1, 2019, September 30, 2023. They are all these travels.
4 times.
You are open to the
investigation. I am amazed. I am amazed. It is nobody's business whether I as a free citizen of India, whether I visited Dubai 4 times or 40 times or Timbuktu 4 times or 40 times is my business. It is only the nosy BJP who have no idea of due process of law and what constitutes legality who can put something like this in a report. So you went and got the MHA to pull out my immigration records to see where I went. On what basis? On what basis? I could have gone to Dubai 4 times, 40 times. I can go to Switzerland 800 times.
So you're open to a full investigation. You're saying you're open to any investigation by any probe agency.
This is a joke. Obviously, I've said that from day one. The investigative agencies, now obviously this is a think tank of the BJP being run, like I said, by some canine farm somewhere, right? So, like I said, the Lokpal is supposed to have done a referral, but that is being announced. The Lokpal's referral is being announced on Twitter by somebody who doesn't have a degree and shouldn't be in the Lok Sabha in the first place.
Can I?
Or who's lied on his election affidavit. This is the state of what this Lokpal has come to. This is a jokepal. So what is that? I already said. I said, does the CBI, after it finishes counting 13,000 crores of Adani, is welcome to come and count my pairs of shoes. I welcome. I believe the CBI is short-staffed. They can't finish the investigations on their own plate. If they have time to come and look at me, they are welcome. Please come in and see what I have to.
Can I ask you though, now that this recommendation for expulsion is there, will go to the Speaker, possibly come before the Lok Sabha, is your party fully behind you from Mamata Banerjee downwards? Will they now speak up strongly in your favor? Or are there, as your critics in the BJP are saying, the silence of the Trinamool Congress is a sign that they have left Mahua under the bus?
I don't have to respond to what the critics in the BJP are saying. I am neither responsible to them nor am I accountable to them, so they can go take a walk as far as I am concerned. Abhishek has come out. I have always maintained from day one my party is fully behind me, and Abhishek has come out today. He was in the ED. He's also being harassed non-stop. Like he said today that they call him on one case, when they can't find someone, they'll get him on somebody else. So for me, they're trying to encircle me. So first get the Ethics Committee to send to the CBI, and then, by the way, if we haven't got a cover on that side, let's just for good measure also get a referral made by the Lokpal to the CBI. I mean, this is the typical kind of tactics. Abhishek's come out today and very clearly said, he said it's a political witch hunt, and anyone who speaks against Adani in the country, they want to expel them from parliament. I'm not the first person they've done it with. They didn't succeed the first time, and they're not going to succeed with me.
So you believe this is not the end of your political... You believe this is not the end of your political career. You will continue to fight. Am I correct?
Rajdeep, only an anchor sitting in Delhi could say that I'm in my constituency. If there were 100 people in my meetings today, if 5 people in India knew me before this, 500 people know me. If I went to an airport before and 5 people came and said, ma'am, you're doing a great job, 500 people. Today I'm in my constituency. At a normal 12 o'clock in the afternoon in a rural area, it's always scant crowds. Today, every meeting I went to, people are coming in and saying, Didi, tu bhi lode jao, tumi parbe. Didi, keep fighting. You're the only one who can do this. Just teach them a lesson.
Can I ask you
one? So it's like I said, if I won by 60,000 in 2019, I will win by over 1 lakh in 2024. So they've done me a huge favor.
Can I ask you one final question?
In my political career, nothing could
This
be better.
started off, if I may say so, ironically, with a seeming custody battle over a dog called Henry. Today, Mr. Jait Dehadrai, the original complainant, has put out a tweet welcoming back Henry, the dog, back to his house, saying, you're back with me. Is there a story there?
Rajdeep, poor Henry. Rajdeep, Henry is my child. Henry is my child. Rajdeep, I just don't want him to be the subject of, media attention all the world over. Like, Henry, like I said, is my child. I don't have children. Henry is my child. And I just don't want, I want Henry to be happy and healthy for as long as he lives. And all this attention on him is really not good. So this is not something I want to discuss on national TV. And all I can say is, that Henry is my child, and wherever I go, the well-being of Henry is almost foremost in my heart.
Okay. let's leave it there, Mahua Moitra. As you've said, you claim you're going to fight on, and
Thank you.
that you will fight the 2024 elections, and you're confident that your party in particular will stand by you. Mahua Moitra, for joining me on the show, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, let's raise the big questions now that stem from Mahua Moitra's possible expulsion. Mahua Moitra, victim or villain? Has the Ethics Committee which recommended her expulsion been fair or completely biased? Why has there been no question of Mr. Hiranandani, the alleged bribe giver? Will Mahua Moitra be sacked from Parliament, or is that an injustice? Has she been denied a fair hearing? And let's take the issue forward then. Joining us now on our face-off, two members of the ethics panel with different views. Aparajita Sarangi, BJP member of parliament at the ethics panel that recommended expulsion of Mahua Moitra, and Girdhari Yadav of the Janata Dal United, its MP. To you, Aparajita Sarangi, I had Mahua Moitra on my show a little while ago, and she said this was a fixed match. Everything was pre-decided, including the report. The members really had no say. It was a hit job by the BJP because she's speaking out on Mr. Modi and Mr. Adani. How do you respond? Was this in any way pre-decided?
You know, it's very unfortunate that Mahua Moitra had to be recommended to be expelled from the Lok Sabha. But it's much more unfortunate when Mahua Moitra and others come forward and defend themselves. See, there are certain kinds of behavior that cannot be defended. She is a parliamentarian. She is a people's representative. She stays in a glass house. I think she must remember all these things. And nobody can absolve her of the responsibility. She has demonstrated unethical conduct by sharing her login credentials with somebody who is not even staying in India, somebody who is staying outside in UAE, in Dubai.
She says he's a businessman with, ma'am, just a minute. Ma'am, she says she says Darshan Hiranandani is still an Indian citizen with huge business interests in India, and she says she only gave the login password. She continued to control the site. The OTP would come on her phone. Therefore, it is wrong to say that national security is involved.
Can you justify this kind of behavior? I mean, she is an educated lady, I have all regards for her, but can you justify this behavior? In fact, you know, you just can't say, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. You know, these are codes of conduct which even not written we have to follow. So I think by sharing her login credentials with somebody who is outside the country or even within the country, somebody is not related to her office, is nothing short of a crime, if I can use that word. And you know what? The bills, in fact, the report that we have sent, I should not be divulging the details of the report. I'm just mentioning that there are bills which are uploaded on our members portal. Now, these government bills are circulated among all the members to see and, you know, discuss and debate in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. And I'm sure in her members portal also, very important bills, sensitive bills, proposing amendments to many of the, you know, many of the issues of the government were uploaded. Now, if you are giving access to a particular person who, I will underscore, is not a foreign national, he is an Indian, but he has residency rights in Dubai, one. Number two, he has friends among foreign nationals, very close relatives among foreign nationals. Now, if you give that kind of, you know, if you share your ID, password, etc. with that kind of person, and
no, but what is the with due regard, ma'am, what is the sensitive information? What all these bills are in the public domain, ma'am.
I'm coming to it, please.
All these bills are in public domain. What is the sensitive information that someone like Darshan Hiranandani could get through a login password? Please go ahead, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Rajiv ji, just please allow me to speak.
Yes.
I'm just giving you an example of the bills. You know, this is just an instance. There are many things which, you know, if you allow a particular person to enter your system, the entire thing becomes vulnerable for everybody to see. And you know how hacking is being done these days. So anything can happen, and I'm sure These are matters of national security. You cannot open our system. We cannot just open our system. You know, if
Do
you
our
go
MPs
to
give
NIC,
their login
you
passwords
see
to
the
their office
guidelines
secretaries?
of the National Informatics Center.
Do our MPs get outsiders to put in?
Office secretary is different. He or she, that's different. Office secretary is different. There is accountability there. The person is paid by the parliament or the MP. So there is complete hold on the person concerned. I mean, you cannot equate your office secretary with Darshan Hiranandani sitting in Dubai and getting access to the system.
She says she was using his office for secretarial work. She said she was using his office for secretarial work. You don't go by that argument at all.
That is what she has been saying, but you know, that can be misused. That's what I'm saying.
Is that reason enough to expel her? Is that reason enough to expel her? There are questions whether the ethics committee can expel a member. A privileges committee can, an ethics committee can suspend at best.
But
expulsion?
This is a very serious charge. Okay. And this has been proved. In fact, we had requested the Ministry of External Affairs, the Ministry of IT and Ministry of Home Affairs to give their views. And all of them have been saying what we have been saying. They have been repeating what we have said. This is, you know, breach of privilege. This is contempt of house. And this is absolutely unethical conduct and bordering on criminality because, you know, it also leads to issues pertaining to national security.
You mentioned national security, ma'am. Can I just get in Girdhar? Okay, I've heard you, ma'am. I think it's fair to bring in Girdhar Yadav because he gave a very different. आपने dissenting note दिया. यहाँ अपराजिता सारंगी कही है राष्ट्र सुरक्षा का मामला है, नेशनल सिक्योरिटी का. आप किस तरह से देखते हैं? लॉगिन पासवर्ड किसी ऐसे व्यक्ति को जाता है तो दुबई में बेस्ड है. इनका कहना है ये नेशनल सिक्योरिटी का मामला है.
राजीव जी, सबसे पहले तो एनआईसी का कोई नियम नहीं बना हुआ है. दूसरा बात है कि ईमेल, जीमेल और लॉगिंग पासवर्ड ये जितने हम लोग एमपी हैं किसी को पता नहीं रहता, वो सब तो दूसरा लोग करता है. लेकिन ओटीपी मेन है. ओटीपी मेरे फोन पर आता है. यदि इस ओटीपी को हम शेयर करेंगे 5 मिनट 3 मिनट के अंदर तभी वो मेरा क्वेश्चन लोकसभा में सकता है. कोई नेशनल सिक्योरिटी का बात इसमें नहीं है. और जहां तक ये बात है, कहते हैं कि होम मंत्रालय और विदेश मंत्रालय, तो सारे हमारे सम्माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के कंट्रोल में है. जब सम्माननीय एमपी महुआ मोइत्रा जी ने कहा कि अडानी और मोदी जी में संबंध है, इसको प्रूफ करना चाहिए, तो उसी के लिए सब हो रहा है. क्योंकि अडानी के खिलाफ इस देश में कोई भी आदमी बोलेगा, उस आदमी को की सदस्यता जाएगी ही. उसके लिए वो हमारे सम्माननीय प्रधानमंत्री किसी स्तर तक जा सकते हैं. आप जानते हैं.
पर आप मानते हैं कि ये एरर ऑफ जजमेंट है. पर आप मानते हैं किसी बिजनेसमैन को इस तरह से या उसके ऑफिस को देना ये कहीं ना कहीं एरर ऑफ जजमेंट थी या नहीं?
हम लोग बता रहे. हम लोग तो कितने लोगों को देते हैं कि भाई जरा मेरा टाइप करके भेज दीजिए, मेरा टाइपराइटर वाला आदमी नहीं है, और वो भेज देता. लेकिन जो भेजेगा, राजीव जी, जब तक हम ओटीपी नहीं देंगे तब तक वो लोड नहीं. ओटीपी असली चीज है और एनआईसी का कोई ऐसा नियम नहीं बना हुआ आज तक कि हम क्या करें.
नहीं, नियम ना होना एक बात नहीं. नियम ना होना
इसका मामला कोई नेशनल सिक्योरिटी
नहीं, नियम ना होना एक बात है. लेकिन क्या आपको लगता है कि ये करना सही है?
कुछ हम करें. हमारा कोई अमेरिका में हम किसी दिन गए हों अपने बेटे के पास, वहां से हमको कोई करना पड़ेगा तो करना ही पड़ेगा. हमको ऐसा कोई बंधन या तो सरकार को करना चाहिए था कि विदेश से कोई भी मेल ईमेल मेरे लोकसभा पोर्टल पर नहीं आएगा. हम भी तो जाते हैं विदेश में, अपने बेटे के पास जाते हैं, लंदन जाते हैं, अमेरिका जाते हैं, और वहां से हम करते हैं प्रश्न.
ओके,
ऐसा तो कुछ है नहीं. ऐसा तो कोई नियम है नहीं. जब
तो आप कह रहे हैं ये फिक्स, आप भी कह रहे हैं ये फिक्स रिपोर्ट था. अपराजिता सारंगी, लेट मी टर्न टू द सेकंड पॉइंट व्हिच आई फाइंड अ लिटिल स्ट्रेंज.
y'all have एक
minute. Aparajita Sarangi is y'all saying in this report that Mahua Moitra accepted money, cash and kind, amenities and various other facilities from Shri Darshan Hiranandani. The money trail of such transactions as part of quid pro quo should be investigated by Government of India. Now you did not investigate, you did not call in Mr. Darshan Hiranandani. This is a businessman who on day one said, I have no knowledge of this. 2 days later, drafts a sworn affidavit, suddenly detailing lots of claims none of which have been verified. Did you all verify the claims of Darshan Hiranandani? Should an ethics panel verify it? Or are you hanging Mahua Moitra and saying that she has got cash without the evidence? The evidence will be later on found by an investigator. Is this the way an investigation should be carried out to result in an expulsion of an MP, ma'am?
Now, let us try to understand the second part, the cash transaction, the gift transaction, whatever it happened. The fact remains that there is an affidavit. On 20th of October, the affidavit was shown by Darshan Hiranandani, and it was shown before the Vice Consul of the Consulate General of Dubai. That means that it is a sworn affidavit.
But 2 days before that, he said he had no knowledge of it.
So when
So tomorrow somebody will put an affidavit against you, ma'am. How will you prove yourself? Should you have the right to cross-examine him?
I try to tell you, please try to listen to me. It's a sworn affidavit, and the affidavit has been signed before the Consul General, a senior Vice Consul of the Consulate General of India in Dubai, and she is a senior Indian Foreign Service officer. Right. And when everything is there in the affidavit, what is the need to kind of, go for interrogation? That is the question. Now, the two complainants were there. We started by talking to the two complainants, Jai Anant Dehadrai and Sri Nishikant Dubeji. We heard them at length. And thereafter, on 2nd November, we sat with Mahua Moitra.
What is Nishikant Dubey's locus, ma'am? Ma'am, with due regard, what is Nishikant Dubey's locus? He is someone who's got an animus against Mahua Moitra. Why did you not cross-examine the main alleged bribe giver? Without cross-examining Darshan Hiranandani, and he has not given any details specifically of any cash, you are expelling a member based on some third party who, I repeat, on day one said, I have no knowledge of any of this. He could have well been put under pressure by the government to indict Mahua Moitra. Tomorrow somebody could do it to you in Odisha.
The affidavit is there. It's a sworn affidavit.
Why not cross-examine him?
Interrogation. This is number one. Number two, the cash, the money trail of the cash transaction will be actually looked into by some investigating agency. If Honorable Speaker so feels, the Government of India.
So why not expel her then? Why not expel her if the investigation finds any proof of culpability? You are recommending expulsion without even the investigation. I mean, this is a kangaroo court.
Do you support the unethical conduct of Mahua Moitra?
I am not supporting. My job is to ask questions. I am asking you a straight question.
Privilege?
You are calling for the expulsion of an MP where you do not have prima facie evidence of cash transactions yet. You are going by a sworn affidavit of a third party.
I'm just coming to you. I'm coming to you. Rajiv ji.
राजीव जी,
एक मिनट गिरिधर जी, उनको खत्म करने दीजिए.
हमारा भी सुन लिया जाए.
Now, don't we need to recommend her expulsion? There is breach of privilege, there is contempt of the House. These three are good enough reasons for recommendation of her expulsion.
Okay.
Now, the fourth thing which has cropped up through the affidavit of this gentleman is cash transaction, gift transaction, etc. So that would be looked into by the investigating agency. That's a separate matter altogether. But, her unethical conduct is good enough reason for us to, recommend her expulsion.
Girdhar ji,
so I think
let Girdhar ji wanted to respond to you, ma'am.
We did today.
Ma'am, Girdhar ji wanted to respond. Girdhar ji,
राजीव जी, हमारे मीटिंग में चर्चा हुआ था कि हीरानंदानी को यदि इंडियन नेशनल का हीरानंदानी होगा तो मैं बुलाऊंगा सलाह लेके, और यदि एफिडेविट पर ही करना था तो क्या कहते JN देहदराई को भी नहीं बुलाना चाहिए था, निशिकांत सम्मानीय MP को भी नहीं बुलाना चाहिए, एफिडेविट पर ही कर देना चाहिए था. तो क्या आवश्यकता थी इन लोगों का गवाही लेने का?
आपने डिमांड किया था कि दर्शन हिरानंदानी को बुलाए. सर, आपने डिमांड किया था कि दर्शन
एकदम डिमांड किया था. हमने डिमांड किया था कि एकदम डिमांड किया था. हमारे चेयरमैन ने आश्वस्त किया था कि यदि वो इंडियन नेशनल का आदमी होगा तो उसको हम बुलाएंगे, और उसने नहीं बुलाया. हम लोग कहते रह गए कि उसको बुलाना है, बोला बुलाएंगे. और यदि बिना क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन के, बिना जिसने जो घूस देने का बात कहता है कि हमने, वो कहता भी नहीं है. और गिफ्ट की जहां तक बात है, गिफ्ट तो सारे एमपीओ को मिलता है. अब मेरे घर पर कोई गिफ्ट भिजवा देगा, वो किस चीज का पैकेट में गिफ्ट आता है, मेरा घर का लोग रिसीव करता है कि मैं यही बैठा रहता हूं, मैं तो क्षेत्र पर मैं रहता हूं, और कोई यदि उसमें भेज देगा चांदी और सोना तो मेरा नौकर या मेरा घर का लोग उसको पैक को ले लेगा, कल कहिएगा कि आपके यहाँ सोना चांदी दे दिया। गिफ्ट कोई मुद्दा नहीं है, गिफ्ट तो हर एमपी को मिलता है, जो जिसके मित्रता जिस लेवल के लोगों से रहती है गिफ्ट उस प्रकार दिया जाता है। और यहाँ तो व्यक्तिगत स्वतंत्रता का हनन किया गया।
नहीं,
जो उस दिन कमेटी में हम लोगों ने बहिष्कार किया। हमारी बहन अपरिचिता जी हैं, हमारे क्षेत्र से हैं, हमारी सम्मानीय बहन है। ये जिन प्रश्नों को हमारे सम्मान्य चेयरपर्सन के द्वारा पूछा गया, व्यक्तिगत स्वतंत्रता का हनन है। आर्टिकल 21 कहता है कि जीवन का अधिकार और व्यक्तिगत स्वतंत्रता का अधिकार, व्यक्तिगत स्वतंत्रता का अधिकार का हनन हमारे सम्मान्य चेयरमैन के द्वारा जो किया गया वो एकदम अशोभनीय है। इसको देश के इतिहास में कभी संविधान में माफ नहीं किया जाएगा। ये संविधान को तार तार करने के लगे हुए हैं। और एक भी प्रश्न किसी महिला ने, हमारी 3 महिला सदस्य सम्मान्य बैठी हुई थी,
नहीं
किसी ने एक प्रश्न नहीं पूछा। इतना गंदा प्रश्न हमारे स्पीकर ने महिला से सांसद से किया है कि हम कह रहे हैं कि इतना गंदा प्रश्न कोई कर नहीं सकता। हम लोग शर्मिंदगी होके हम लोगों ने हल्ला हंगामा करके, क्योंकि हमारी सारी बहनें बैठी हुई थी, इतना गंदा प्रश्न किया कि हम लोगों ने बहिष्कार किया।
Aparajita Sarangi, the woman card has been is there also, that according to Mahua Moitra, she was asked personal questions about her relationship with Darshan Hiranandani, with Mr. Hiranandani's wife, who she would ring up. Do you believe these are appropriate questions? Does this fall within unethical conduct, or is this a chairperson looking to character assassinate a woman? According to her, this was pure character assassination, and this entire investigation is character assassination because Mahua Moitra raised her voice on the alleged Modi-Adani question.
On 2nd of November, she was given opportunity of being heard, and there were certain questions asked limited to the contents of the affidavit by the chairman of the committee. Now, the chairman was candid enough to say that if she did not want to answer any question, she could say so, or she could seek 24 hours time to respond in writing. But she did not do so. She started shouting. And you know what? She used such unparliamentary words, which I think I had to say in one of the channels, Behuda and Besharam. And can you expect a parliamentarian to use such words against the chairman of a parliamentary standing
Should a chairperson of a parliamentarian know which hotel she stays with whom? Is it the job of a chairperson to ask which hotel an MP is staying with whom? Is it the job of an ethics chairman?
I'm coming to that. See, the point is, I'm reiterating that nothing was asked which was beyond the content of the affidavit. I am a woman, and I am here to uphold the dignity of all women.
Okay.
So I must say with all conviction at my command that the questions were asked within the content of the affidavit. And the chairman had every right to ask any question related to the affidavit.
Can I ask both of you, and I'll start with you, Aparajita ji, again. This entire ethics panel, the vote has been divided on party lines, except Pregnit Kaur, who remember was suspended by the Congress some months ago. The NDA MPs have voted one way, non-NDA MPs the other. It almost seems that the ethics panel is split on party lines. This is not, therefore, many will say, this is a partisan inquiry. If I'm with the government, I want Mahua Moitra expelled. If I'm not with the government, I want her to stay on. Why not? Is this the way? And these hearings, therefore, next time should be made public. Let's know. And how do you have a politically divided panel deciding on an expulsion then?
See, sharing of logging credentials with somebody outside the country is unethical. I don't think anyone in this country would support the conduct of Mahua Moitra as a parliamentarian, right? So, as far as Praneet Kaur madam is concerned, in fact, I can only thank her. She has the courage to do what is right, and every right-thinking person would do what she did. So, I don't think there is any politics, there is any political vendetta. Here is a person, here is a parliamentarian who forgot the limits of decency, went beyond that, went beyond Lakshman Rekha, and without knowing the rules of the game, she kind of, played indiscriminately. So I think this is something which had to happen, which whatever happened gives me pain. I'm a woman. It's not that I'm happy. She has left, she is being recommended to be expelled from Lok Sabha. It's very sad for me in particular. But the fact remains that this had to happen because
This is a crime
the
you
things
believe. This
which
is a crime you believe
the
which
kind
is
of
worthy of
behavior she
expulsion.
displayed.
This is a
And
crime
there
you
was
believe
no-
which
there
is
was
worthy of
absolutely no
expulsion.
rescue.
Okay. गिरधर जी, क्या ये पूरा राजनीति से प्रेरित है? आप लोग मोदी जी के खिलाफ हैं, इसलिए आप लोगों ने महुआ मोइत्रा का साथ दिया।
द्रौपदी नहीं, ये द्रौपदी का चीरहरण किया गया। द्रौपदी का जब चीरहरण हुआ था, सारे लोगों ने उस द्रौपदी के चीरहरण को कुछ पूरा महाभारत सबने देखा है। ये द्रौपदी का चीरहरण उस समय हो रहा था। किसी महिला सदस्य ने एक प्रश्न नहीं किया। महुआ मोइत्रा जैसे 3 महिला सदस्य हमारे सम्मान में उपस्थित थी, और जो हमारे चेयरपर्सन है, इतना गंदा प्रश्न किया कि मैं आपको ये टीवी पे नहीं बता सकता हूं। और हम लोगों ने कहा कि माननीय चेयरपर्सन सभापति महोदय, आप रिटिन क्वेश्चन उनको दे दीजिए, वो जवाब दे देंगी, लेकिन उसने नहीं माना। वो तो हम आपको कह रहे हैं, जो हमारे चेयरमैन है, हम माननीय सम्मानीय अपनी बहन अपराजिता से कहना चाहता हूं कि उनको जय अनंत देहदराई बोलने नहीं आता था, वो जय अनंत देसाई बोलते थे। जिस चेयरमैन को जय अनंत देहदराई नहीं बोल सकता है, जो जय अनंत देसाई बोलता है, वो पढ़ा हुआ स्क्रिप्ट भी नहीं पढ़ पा रहे थे सुधीर।
No, मैं अपराजिता सारंगी, is it true that only the chairman, according to Mahua Moitra, the chairman was given a list of questions. He had no knowledge of the background of the case. He just asked the questions and wrote, which were written out for him. None of you even cross-questioned her.
उसी को पढ़ रहा था, उसको कुछ जानकारी नहीं है।
Your question, Rajiv ji.
नहीं, अपराजिता जी, in conclusion,
एक लाइन हिंदी उसको तो पता भी नहीं है कि क्या बोला और नहीं बोला दूसरे दिन।
जी, Aparajita, final question. There's a belief, according to Mahua Moitra, that the entire questionnaire was dictated to by someone outside. The chairman did not even have the knowledge of the facts of the case, and none of you from the government side even questioned Mahua, only the chairman did. And therefore, all of this was pre-decided, and MP was flown down from Madhya Pradesh to be at the ethics panel so that the government would have a majority. This was done because, I repeat, Mahua Moitra got under the skin of this government.
Ethics committee was held, 3 dates were there, and we all sat, and it is expected of all MPs to be there. Now, as far as the MPs of NDA are concerned, in fact, we are very serious about our job. When a job has been given, we must attend the meeting. What's the big deal about it? And the chairman has to start the conversation. The chairman has to start asking the questions. After the chairperson, after the chairman would have spoken, would have asked the questions, he would have asked all the MPs one by one to put forth the questions. And that was the agreement. The chairman mentioned when the entire discussion started that he would be first asking all the questions, and then thereafter he would be asking
Girdhari Yadav
everybody
says
to put
it was
forth their
Draupadi
questions.
ka
So that was the
Chirharan.
understanding.
Girdhari Yadav is saying it was Draupadi ka Chirharan. How do you respond?
I am a woman. I never felt there was any kind of Chirharan. It was absolute inquiry. It was investigation. We were trying to understand what happened. Why did Nishikant Dubey write such a letter?
Because Nishikant, ma'am, 1 minute. Nishikant, what is Nishikant Dubey's local stand apart from the fact that he and Mahua Moitra have been... Just a minute. What is Nishikant Dubey's locus standa in this entire case, apart from the fact that he has an animus with Mahua Moitra? She and he have been having a long stay. You can call him to your ethics committee, but you cannot call Darshan Hiranandani, the alleged bribe giver. You are a former bureaucrat under Prevention of Corruption Act. If he has given cash or gifts for favor, he should be investigated first. You should be indicting him. He is going to get away with one sworn affidavit.
See, it's up to you as to how you look at it. There is an affidavit which has been shown before an
affidavit that effectively condemns him. He is admitting to giving a bribe.
What more to that? We have seen the affidavit.
And you don't want to question him.
Everything is there in the affidavit.
And you did not think it was prudent to question him.
That is our recommendation.
You did not think it was prudent to question someone who is claiming that an MP has taken cash and gifts for questions. You do not call him. He is an Indian citizen. What stopped you from calling him to Parliament?
Who said the government of India would not do that?
Why didn't the ethics committee do it?
It's just a question of, taking a decision.
Why didn't the ethics?
Later.
You have already taken a decision to expel her.
The recommendation of the committee, I'm sure you are aware of.
Why did you not call him?
The money trail of the cash transaction would be actually looked into by an investigating agency to be decided by the
But you've
government
already
of India.
condemned her
This
before
is our
that. By
recommendation
expelling her,
to
you've
all
already
this.
condemned her.
I'm sure you have a copy of that.
Ma'am, you've
particular
already
report.
condemned her,
You are
but
quoting that.
you are saying an investigative agency will do it later, but you've already recommended her expulsion. You could not wait. Could you not wait for 2 months? You could have had a time-bound inquiry. It seemed you were in a hurry to expel her.
I am asking Mr. Yadav. I am asking Mr. Yadav, अनैतिक व्यवहार हुआ या नहीं? अगर लॉगिन और पासवर्ड दिया गया तो यह अनैतिक था। अगर आप अपने बेटे के पास 1 दिन या 2 दिन के लिए जाते हैं और एक बार अगर अपलोड किया फॉरेन जगह से तो कोई बात नहीं है, लेकिन अगर 47 बार उसे अपलोड किया जाता है किसी अन्य व्यक्ति के द्वारा तो बिल्कुल यह अनैतिक है।
गिरधारी जी रिस्पॉन्ड।
दूसरा मैं कह दूं, ब्रीच ऑफ प्रिविलेज था या नहीं?
हम कह रहे कोई अनैतिक नहीं हुआ है।
47 बार नहीं, उनका कहना है, एक मिनट अपराजिता जी, गिरधारी जी 47 बार लॉगिन, 47 बार उनका कहना है, 47 बार
हम कह रहे हैं अपराजिता जी, हमारी बहन को हम बताना चाहते हैं कि कोई अनैतिक काम नहीं। ओटीपी मुख्य होता है। ओटीपी महुआ मोइत्रा जी के फोन में आता था, जब ओटीपी वो कंफर्म करती थी तभी क्वेश्चन वो आता था लोकसभा में, इसलिए कोई अनैतिक नहीं है। कहीं से भी कोई टाइप करा सकता है, लेकिन ऐसा कोई अनैतिक नहीं। चूंकि उसने अडानी के खिलाफ प्रश्न पूछा है, नरेंद्र मोदी जी और अडानी जी के रिश्ता को उसने स्थापित कर दिया था, इसीलिए इस देश की जो वर्तमान सरकार है वो महुआ मोइत्रा, क्योंकि इस देश में महुआ मोइत्रा जैसा हिम्मत वाली बहुत कम सांसद है जो अडानी और मोदी जी के खिलाफ बोल सकता है। उसने बोला है, इसलिए महुआ मोइत्रा बधाई की पात्र है। सदस्यता रहना और जाना ये सरकार के बस का है, लेकिन अब महुआ मोइत्रा ने देश के संवैधानिक इतिहास में जो काम किया है उसका कोई उदाहरण नहीं है। वो झांसी की रानी हो गई हैं।
चलिए,
Chairman has asked for dissent notes and 5 honorable MPs have given their dissent notes.
Okay.
I think the dissent notes would be attached to the report and sent to Honorable Speaker.
Okay, we'll leave it there. It's going to go to the Speaker's office. Aparajita Sarangi and Girdhari Yadav, I appreciate both of you, senior MPs, joining me here on the show tonight. Thank you so much.